What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 7 harmless American words Brits might find rude.
This will be interesting.
Going to be interesting because we may hear these words when we're in America, and we've got a little bit of a pre-warning. Interested whether we find them rude or not as well. I'm ready. Are you ready? Smash that button, guys. Smash that subscribe button. Lawrence's link is in the description as always. And let's go what we got.
Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to perfectly harmless words that sound rude to the other country. In part 1 of this 2-part series, I looked at 7 British words that when spoken aloud might sound utterly filthy to my American viewers. Well, in this video we're going to flip that idea on its head and take a look at 7 American words that absolutely shocked the bejesus out of me when I first moved to the United States. And so if innuendo is something that you can't live without and you haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, do that now.
Same here.
In the meantime, here are 7 completely harmless American words and phrases that might sound positively dirty to the British.
Hump day.
Number 1,
We
hump.
use that.
We use this.
Yeah, maybe it's not been used when was
But
in
also,
England, but it's definitely come in.
No, but it's just also quite funny because the other day I said to your mum it's hump day and she didn't hear me properly.
She was like, what?
I think
work?
she was confused, and then I described it. Oh yeah, sorry, I have heard that before. I use this quite a lot actually, hump day.
Yeah, you do.
But if you haven't heard of it, I can understand you thinking, oh, what are you two doing tonight?
Hump Day. And my British viewers might be thinking, Hump Day? Is that a particular day of the year in which Americans decide to have a little bit of how's your father? And the answer to that is no.
Middle of a week.
One day. This is a weekly occurrence. And you're probably thinking, Lawrence, that's why America had such a large post-war population boom. But the truth is, most of us aren't going at it like rabbits. Well, most of you anyway. Because Hump Day is not some predetermined baby-making festivity. It is, I discovered, a euphemism for a particular day of the week, and that day is Wednesday. In fact, the context under which I first heard about this phrase took place on a Wednesday when an American colleague of mine mysteriously observed, Lawrence, we're over the hump. Well, you might be, Colton, but I'm not, and I never will be. But what he explained was that we're over the hump, meaning the middle of the week. And so now you're probably thinking, Lawrence, what is the story with that? And don't ask me that question right now. Instead, here is me 2 seconds from now with an answer. The term hump day appears to have originated in the United States during the 20th century. However, sources from the 1950s seem to suggest it was first used to describe the midpoint of a training course. By the 80s, presumably because a training course might typically span Monday to Friday, that meaning had evolved to mean Wednesday and not National Rumpy Pumpy Day.
Oh, it's as simple as if you've got like a cow's hump, you're going up in the week, and then suddenly, boom, middle of Wednesday, you start going down to the weekend.
Funnily enough,
Fanny
not every
Pack,
entry on this list came to my attention after I moved to the United States. Some, like Fanny Pack, were an eye-opening feature of my visit to the United States as a child. In fact, when I visited Florida in 1990, the Fanny Pack was at the peak of its powers. As I trotted my way around Disney World, it seemed that 50% of the tourists were wearing one, including myself. But there was a reason that I found this entire experience confusing, and not just because I was being chased by Goofy, but also because back in Britain, a Fanny Pack is known as a bum bag, which is also positively dirty. But to us, not as dirty as Fanny Pack. You see, back in Britain, Fanny, in addition to being a woman's name, is also a euphemism for a woman's. So it just begs the question, why does this travel bag sound so utterly crass on either side of the pond? Back over to Lawrence from 2 seconds from now with more or less. Although the bag was intended to be worn at the front, its occasional use at the back is what prompted its name in both Britain and America. Just as the term bum means a person's behind in the former, so does fanny in the United States.
I never knew that.
Thanks, Lawrence. So Americans don't use the word bum, or do they? Well, actually, yes. But the word bum in the context of arse was long ago replaced here by the word butt. Instead, Americans might use the word bum to describe a lazy or a homeless person, which itself presents quite a cultural shock because the last thing that you want to do when discussing the very serious topic of homelessness in the United States is to giggle like a 5-year-old. I explained everything to them and they still won't let me volunteer. And once again, it just raises the question, what are the origins of this derogatory term? Well, earlier today I took a deep dive into bum. While it is possible that the American use of bum was partly influenced by its British equivalent, it is in fact a shortening of bomber, a 19th century noun brought over from Germany meaning an idle person.
Oh,
That's
an idle
pain.
person means, yeah, we say, oh, that's a bummer. That's kind of like a
What
bad
about
day, or it's
yeah.
sad, or oh, kills the mood.
Mhm.
In Germany, it's a bad. What did it say? What?
It was.
A 19th century noun brought over from Germany, meaning an idle person.
Oh,
Indeed,
wow.
bummer was
Interesting.
popular Civil War slang among Union soldiers and may have spread due to the influence of the 200,000 German immigrants who served. So Americans do use the word bum, and in fact, things go a little deeper, honestly.
Bum
Okay,
rush.
firstly,
Rush.
Britannica gives this as
What?
an example of how to use bum rush. They bum rushed him from behind.
Oh, I've heard
now,
that.
you're new
I
to
have
the
heard
country,
that.
you hear that as a news
That is
head.
mad though. Oh, a little bummer. He's quite mad. Ooh, from behind.
A little
Ooh.
bit mad.
Ooh, whatever you guys get up to in your spare time, that's none of our business.
Line. What are your first thoughts? Because to me, even if I were to tell you the least rude thing that comes to mind, it would probably be something like, he was given a wedgie. But that isn't where my mind actually goes. My mind actually, you know where my mind actually goes. But amazingly, against all odds, this is not an innuendo. Bum rush means to attack somebody or something in a forceful or violent way. And so
Oh,
now
wow.
I'm deeply curious as to how we arrived at this state of affairs. Back to research, Lawrence, again. Like myself, the phrase bum rush appears to be a product of the 1980s. However, it is derived from an earlier 20th century expression, bums rush, which, in a
Okay.
not so nice callback to our previous word, meant the forcible ejection of a bum or vagrant from an establishment.
Oh, wow.
I
What?
thought we'd take a moment to
What was
acknowledge
that?
the name of a restaurant which, while not containing any rude words, still somehow sounds like it is one. And that restaurant is Fuddruckers.
Yeah, I
When I
read
first
that.
encountered that restaurant, my initial thought was, that sounds like a good word to use when I'm frustrated. As in, oh, Fuddruckers, I got demonetized for making a video about rude words. And when I posted about it on Twitter the other day, it turns out that some of my American followers might have similar thoughts. Indeed, I used the World Wide Web to get answers as to how Fuddruckers became a thing. As ever, the internet is rife with various explanations for the name, including one that's hard to substantiate, that the company's founder wanted to name the restaurant Mother but was voted down on the grounds that it was not only obscene, but could invite legal action from existing food company Mother
wow.
Tuckers.
Okay,
But the
makes
real
sense.
reason appears to have nothing to do with food or shagging. It is thought to be a play on Fuddpucker World Airlines, a completely made-up aviation company. This airline was known among aviation enthusiasts as a spoof of 20th century flight firsts. Like a lot of satire on the internet today, the spoof could quite easily be taken as real, were it not for its telltale captions. These included, "Around the world since it was square," and "the world's only steam-powered airline."
Okay.
And Fuddruckers is not the only company that made me pause for thought, with special mentions for Jiffy Lube and the Midwestern convenience store Come and Go. This is one of those phrases that you can't believe is not rude in any way whatsoever. And if I have to point out why that is, you've lived a very sheltered life and I congratulate you. And the most shocking thing for me was I first heard this phrase during a work lunch, when Roy from accounts said, "Look at Colton double fisting again." Sorry, what? He's double fisting, doubled down
Oh, wow.
Roy from accounts. It means to carry a drink in both hands.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. And you're telling me that nobody else is thinking what I'm thinking? No? Well, our university days were much different then. Anyway, I never did go on another lunch break with that lot. In fact, you might say, inexplicably, that I did this. I've lived in the United States for 15 years,
What?
and even to this day, when I hear the phrase he or she blew me off, my face twitches. Because
Yep.
in Britain, a lot of our innuendo ends with the word off, such as having it off or copping off. So logically, to us, to blow somebody off means
Getting
to...
off with someone.
I'm not finishing that sentence. Suffice to say, my British viewers might still be confused. So to allay that confusion, in the United States, to blow somebody off means a failure to meet that person despite prior arrangements to do so. In
Okay.
other words, you were stood up, which is not itself a euphemism. Well, if I've learned anything from these videos, it is that my Aunt Cynthia is very sensitive, but also that we must be careful in the words that we use. While it's true that many words between Britain and America do get lost in the pond, not all of them lead to the embarrassment wielded out by the words on this list.
True.
How do I know that? Because I just about lived to tell the tale myself, and for the past 7
Oh yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
It was good, yeah.
I was just starting to cry a little bit, but it's fast asleep still.
It just makes noise.
Make noise to sleep, so we obviously check on him. Yeah, like
Once I have
I think the one at the end, the blow me off, that'd throw me off. It's like, oh mate, I'm so sorry I blew you off of that. Was I sleeping? What happened here? So smash that like button, guys. Smash the subscribe and watch the video.
Have a fantastic
And we'll
day.
see you later into the next one. Peace.